Hello and welcome to another Doctor Who figure review. In this figure review I shall be looking at the Revelation of the Daleks collector's set, released way back in 2011. And 2011 was probably one of the best years, if not the best year, for classic figures. It was the year we got a Jurassic hand puppet. If that doesn't say it's a good year for figures, I don't know what does. You might be wondering, why am I reviewing this? This is practically 6 years old. Well, it's a recent addition to my collection and I couldn't really say no to reviewing it because, hey, it's a figure set, and plus it's kind of nostalgic looking at these sets again. So yeah, speaking of figure videos, I do have a few more figure videos planned in the near future and they should be happening very soon. So without further ado, let's look at the presentation of the set and then we'll go into my thoughts on these figures. Taking a look at the packaging, we've got the figures displayed there nicely. As you can see, we've got pictures of the actual characters within the set. The 6th Doctor, Davros from Resurrection of the Daleks, have pictures from, so not Revelation. Got the 2 Daleks there, what the set includes, and the old Doctor Who logo, the set, the side, and the back. So we've got a bio on the 6th Doctor with some of the Doctors displayed there, a picture of the 6th Doctor and Davros' exploding panel there, and a bit of information on Revelation of the Daleks. So do feel free to pause if you want to know more about that. And we've got more of the Doctors carried on, and a picture of the other 3 characters within the set, and the holographic Doctor Who logo. And we have a nice promotional image from the story, again what the set includes, and the set and the 6th. The insert for the set is done really nicely, showing some various sort of sets from Revelation of the Daleks. You've got the Great Healer there and the Glass Dalek. So yeah, nice little insert for your figures to go. 6th Doctor in all his Technicolor glory. So yeah, you can really understand why the 6th Doctor is one of the most well sold classic figures, and heck, it was in my top 10 classic figures, so please do check out that video if you haven't to see my top 10 classic figures. So for detail, I've got to say this is probably one of the best paint applications I have actually seen on a 6th Doctor figure, and I will compare them to other 6th Doctor figures later on. Now the paint app on the face is just done superb. Like the likeness, you can definitely tell it is Colin Baker if the costume doesn't give it away. The hair is just done really nicely with sort of a dark brown sort of base colour with these sort of blonde highlights to really highlight the curl detail, which is just done really well. And the costume, the scale of it, it's done really well. I mean, obviously it's not entirely screen accurate because look at it, it's 5-inch. It's not exactly going to have all the detail there. So we've got your nice sort of shirt detail there with these sort of question mark lapels. Obviously we're meant to have a bit of the white of the shirt showing instead of the whole waistcoat sort of has taken up the whole sort of torso piece. And the cravat's done really nice with sort of a turquoisey pale blue colour there with the polka dot detail there. We've got the cat badge, what changed every episode, sort of patchwork effect going along the lapels of the jacket itself, and we've got the nice sort of patchwork effect going alongside the waistcoat, with one side being different. We've got the buttons being painted, which is really nice, and the sort of chain of his fob watch, which was broken in Revelation of the Daleks by Perry. Continuing, let's look at the jacket even more because it's just brilliant. You've got the nice crease effects to give it that lifelike effect, and yeah, it's just a really nice sort of panelling detail there. It's just a really great figure for detail. The costume's just really translated well. Yeah, the trousers, very nice sort of there. And obviously there are a bit of quality control with some of the lines not going right down to the bottom, but that's easily fixed really. Just do that and you'll never know. Again, the crease on the trousers to help give it that lifelike effect, and the spats on the shoes. It's just done really well, and it's a beautiful figure. What's not to love? The 6th Doctor's accessory now, the Necros Mourning cloak. Yeah, a really nice addition to sort of give it a bit of variation instead of having the same old you know, just releasing a standard wave 1 6th Doctor in the set. So it's nice to have this just to perk your interest up. So the detail for this again is just done really nice with the sort of question mark clasps there. We've got a little clasp detail where that would fasten on the actual costume piece. We've got the nice gold trim going all the way around there, and nice creases again to give it that sort of lifelike effect. And we do have 3 shades of blue. We've got the sort of a baby blue, a sort of a darkish blue, and then we've got a dark blue there, and PVC there if you didn't know what material it's made of. And that is just nicely, just goes onto the 6th Doctor there. If we can do it, there we go, and just close it round. And there we have him in his Necros Mourning attire, which just looks fantastic. And if you do have a real-time 6th Doctor or the sort of 13 Doctor's 6th Doctor, you can put that on there for the ultimate blue costume. So yeah. So taking a look at the differences on the standard sort of 6th Doctor costume, you can see straight away there are a difference. So we've got the Wave 1 6th Doctor there, and the Doctor and Dalek twin pack one right there. And we have the Revelation of the Dalek set one in the middle. And as like I said, the paint apps are just a lot better on the face instead of this sort of gloss on his face there. And sort of this 6th Doctor, I think, looks a bit dead, to be honest. So I think that this one's just a lot better. The paint apps are a lot more crisp and refined, and just looks a hell of a lot better. It just looks really cool. And there are a few little slight tweaks on the costume, like the cravat's a different shade of blue, as you can see. The chain's a lot more vibrant. I would say is a lot more done better, I would say, on the Revelation set one. And yeah, like I said, the paint app on the face. Right then, on to Davros, Lord and Creator of the Daleks. So yeah, if you look at articulation, the head can move side to side. Can't do a 360 because obviously the whole sort of neck brace there. The arm can move up. That's as far as it goes because it is hindered by the arm of the chair there. We do have bicep articulation, what can move and do a 360, and we do have wrist articulation as well, and he is on 3 wheels, so you can have him patrolling around. So the articulation for Davros is pretty good. Moving on to the detail for Davros. Now if you look at the head, if you've got the Resurrection of the Daleks Davros figure, you kind of know what you're expecting, but it is still a brilliant head sculpt. You can definitely tell it is the Terry Malloy Davros, with different browns there to really highlight the sort of cragginess of his face and sort of the war damage that he's faced. It's just done really nicely, especially around the eyes, especially here. It just really gives it a sort of more of a depth and more of a sort of a texture to it. We've got the wire sculpted there, his sort of blue eye, I guess. It's just done really nice, sort of a neck brace, just done really nice, sort of a nice detailing there. And we have the sort of nuts and bolts holding that together. Yeah, it's just done really nice in the torso. Again, it's just done really nice with those creases, just to help bring it out, to sort of make it stand out a bit more. It's just done really nicely. If we move onto his sort of control panel now, we've got the sort of different switches and buttons, which is done really nicely there. And we've got the nice sort of grating effect on the actual panel there. And yeah, just your standard Davros skirt there, which does have a nice little feature, which I will show you now. So Davros does have this nice little feature. As you can see, there's a little panel there, and if you just press there, that will explode off, revealing this little side panel there with some really nice detailing. If the camera will focus, hopefully it does. There we go, you can see sort of the mechanics of Davros's chair there with a nice sort of silver wash to really highlight the circuitry detail. Granted, that didn't actually happen in Revelation of the Daleks. That is just a nice little feature what carried on from the Resurrection of the Dalek set, and because basically the Davros chair is exactly the same for all the Davros figures. So all the Davros figures do have that exploding panel feature. Another feature what Davros has is a removable hand. So if you just simply remove that, and you can remove his normal hand, because in the episode, I think it's Jacini, blows his hand off and gets bandaged up, and that just plugs in like so. So you can do a scene recreation with Davros getting his hand blown up and getting it bandaged up, and that's done really nice with sort of the green sort of blooded Davros there, and it's just done really nice little variation to have for Davros there, and a nice little difference to sort of display. So here is the Resurrection Davros. So let's do a quick comparison. Now the main sort of thing you can notice on the face is the microphone has changed positions. It swapped sides and it is a different microphone. And I will say, I think the Revelation Davros is a bit more paler than the Resurrection one. So if we just lift his arm up, then we can see some of the main sort of differences, because the paint applications on his little chair are different. As you can see, we've just got a lot more sort of painted buttons within the Revelation one there instead of the Resurrection one, which doesn't have that much paint apps on the actual control panel, but this one has. So if we just move to the side as well, he's now got a white trim instead of a black trim, and yeah, that's it really. Those are the sort of differences for Davros, really. So here are the two Daleks of the set. So if we quickly go through articulation, because they're exactly the same for both Daleks. So if we move the Skaro Dalek out first, The head can do a full 360-degree turn, and the eye stalk does move up and down, and of course this was before they changed the eye stalk, so you can remove them, so you can explode them in your figure adventures. Plungers can do a full 360, but it is very stiff, so I wouldn't recommend it right now, because it is quite stiff actually. And the gun can do a full 360 around there, and it is on 3 wheels, and that is exactly the same for the Skaro Dalek there. So here we have the Skaro Dalek, probably my favourite figure from the set itself. So if we look at the detail, we have a new eye stalk, which I will compare to the Resurrection one. I'm not sure if it's entirely accurate to the episode, because I'm not exactly a Dalek expert. We've got the updated Dalek dome lights there, with the sort of frosted effect there, and you can sort of see the ridge detail there. The neck piece is done really nice, you've got the sort of mesh detail there. The middle section, we've got the slats with sort of a grey wash over there, and you can really see the nuts and bolts holding the slats together on the actual prop, which is done really nicely. You've got the nice sort of circle detail there, and yeah, we've got a double base there, well, double fender. So yeah, done rather nicely. Not much you can say for Daleks, standard detail really. And yeah, let's do a sort of a quick comparison to the Resurrection Dalek. So here we have the two Resurrection Daleks. You can see they're a lot more lighter in their colour, as the Revelation one is a lot more darker. And as you can see, the eye stalk, like I said, is different. Instead of having it, if I just remove the eye stalk from this one, because that one doesn't remove, and just remove that, you can sort of see the differences in eye stalks there. There we go. You can see the difference. We've got the Resurrection one on the top and the Revelation one on the bottom. So yeah, we've got a new eye stalk piece there. So here is the Necros Dalek. It's exactly the same as the Skaro Dalek, just in different paint apps. So we have the exact same detail there, with the sort of dome lights, the mesh, and of course in between the slats painted gold now instead. And yeah, got a nice sort of nice bronzy gold colour for the hemispheres, and the quality control isn't that bad actually, because 2011 was the year when the sort of quality control started to go downhill and started to slip. I mean, there are a few marks on the dome, but yeah, well, you can't really help that with white, with the sort of Imperial Daleks, because they're always going to get marks on them. So yeah, there's the Necros Dalek. So let's do a little quick comparison to the other Necros Daleks. So here we have the Necros Daleks all lined up. So we've got the Revelation of the Daleks Collector's Set one in 2011, the Sound Effects one from 2012, and the Doctor and Dalek Twin Pack from Toys R Us in 2013. So the Revelation of the Daleks one was the first Necros Dalek what was to be released, and the differences you can really notice are the hemispheres. The hemispheres on the original one are a lot more bronzed colour, got a bit more of a darker colour to them than the sort of pale gold what were later used on them. And yeah, it's a lot more of a different cream colour, it's a more matte, whereas this has got a slight gloss to them. And if you just move the Daleks around, the eye stalk is a lot more longer than that one, than the other two. And I've got to say, I do prefer this one because it just looks more of a Dalek and just looks better really in my opinion. So there we go, the Necros Daleks. And also the dome lights are different. As you can see, the original one had the frosted dome lights, whereas the other one just had the standard clear dome lights really. So there we go, the Necros Dalek. Overall, what do I think of the Revelation of the Daleks collector set? To be honest, I'm really pleasantly surprised on how much I love this set. I've just fallen in love with it ever since I got it. It was a set what didn't really interest me a couple of weeks ago, but now since having it in hand, I have just fallen in love with it. I mean, like I said, this, if you haven't got a 6th Doctor from Wave 1, then this might be one to track down, because like I keep banging on about, the paint apps are superb. The Daleks are just nice to have. You can never have too many Daleks, so you can build your Dalek armies up with this. And the Skaro Dalek, my favourite Dalek, and Davros is really nice with the sort of interchangeable hand feature. That offers a lot more sort of variety for you, so you can do scene recreations and do figure adventures. So you can sort of do figure adventures sort of set after Revelation of a Dalek, so maybe the Trial of Davros, that kind of thing. That'll be really cool to do if you want. And yeah, it's just a great set, what I've just fallen in love with having it in hand. And if you haven't got it, I do recommend it. I mean, it's a great way of picking up the 6th Doctor from Wave 1. Yeah, though the classic figures are becoming increasingly more difficult to get, You know, this did take me a while to get it. This wasn't me straight away after. I didn't straight away win it on eBay. It took me about 3 or 4 attempts before I actually won it. I did see this set go for 60 and 70 quid. So it can reach up a bit of money, but I managed to get this for 39 quid. So yeah, pretty good. So if you can get it for a reasonable price, I highly recommend it, because the figures themselves are really nice to add to the collection. So that concludes this figure review. I hope you have enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever that will be. So thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.